Hello, everybody. You know what time it is. This is another episode of Life According to Nikki.
Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that.
I have a few updates to start off with today. Number one, Fridays will now be the official day that I drop episodes. I'm just about to be a lot more consistent because I like a schedule. And now that I feel like I've really gotten in my groove with this whole podcast situation, it's gonna come out on Fridays. So subscribe, do all the things, and get ready because every Friday you will get to listen to my sultry voice as it rambles on about things that don't really matter, but they matter so much to me. And I really appreciate you being here and them mattering in some capacity to you as well. Because, I gotta believe that to some degree, you guys care. Or else, why would you be here, right? Honestly, thank you to all of you. I am having so much fun doing this, and I'm really looking forward to what I have planned. I have people scheduled for the next 2 months to be on the pod. Get pumped for it because I am friends with the coolest people. I am so ready for you all to meet them and love them as much as I do and to enjoy our conversation. We have so many more hills that people will die on that need to be discussed. I hope that as I interview people, you guys comment on the Instagram, hills that you die on, things that you disagree with or agree with, anything that I've suggested that you've tried, whether or not you liked it. Please start making comments because I would just really love to create a little community of us chit-chatting. But also, if you're an introvert and that's not your style, don't feel pressured. Okay, I never want to pressure anybody into anything. Do it, don't do it. I'm here either way. But I hope that if you do have a comment and it doesn't bother you to say it, that you speak up because I would love to hear from you. All right, I just need to address the elephant in the room, even though you're not here in the room and you actually can't visually see me. But I need you all to know that as I record right now, there's hair on my forehead because I got bangs. That was a weird way to say that. Well, it already came out my mouth, so... There it is. I have been in the bangs game before, many a time. We went with a straight across bang, and I believe this is about my 6th time getting bangs. I never receive more compliments than when I have bangs, and I feel like that's for a few reasons. Number one, my forehead's huge. Okay, freaking-enormous. Not a forehead, it's a 5-head. But I also don't have eyebrows, and I don't, draw on anything anymore. I used to back in the day, but I don't create eyebrows for you to look at. So it just creates even more space. And no one really notices that I don't have eyebrows unless I point it out, and then all of a sudden it's so obvious and evident. But bangs really help to kind of give my face some framing. So I finally did it. I pulled the trigger. And this is going to create a bigger conversation regarding my hair. Listen, I don't know what has happened in the last year and a half, but I keep saying that I've gone through a second puberty because I think that that's what went on. Because I used to have very straight hair with just my calyx on the sides of my heads. I have 2 right on the front, and they will curl out, but everything else was straight. It wasn't stick straight, but it was that awful in-between where it's too straight to pass as wavy, but it's not stick straight, so I straightened it my whole life, and I just made it very straight, But in the past year and a half, out of nowhere, my hair became curly. I feel like I just woke up one day and it happened. And it was kind of bizarre because I was looking in the mirror and my hair had air dried and the whole thing consistently looked curly. And I thought to myself, what a weird thing for my hair to do. And then it did it the next day and the next day. And I have just been on this little discovery of what it's like to now have this wavy, curly hair situation. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. but I did have to go out and buy all new hair products and really experiment. I also highly recommend, if you are the type that sprays your hair with water, because now every single morning I gotta spray my hair with water to make it curl up, I highly recommend getting the prolonged spray bottles. You know, the ones that they have at the hairdressers where you just pump it once and then it sprays for a long time instead of having to squeeze every time you want it pumped. It is life-changing. I also have it for my soap bottle as well, for my dishes. Just a prolonged spray of soap. And they're on Amazon. 2 for $10 for the hair ones. I use that every morning, and although I've had bangs many a time, this is my first time not having stick straight bangs. They got a little wave to them. So we're gonna see, you know, how long they last, how much I like them. But so far, day 1, I am still enjoying them. I've had them for a total of 12 hours, and I have to say, I am happy with my hair. But that is subject to change, as all things are. So, you know, ask me again tomorrow, and I might have a different answer. There's also one more item that I feel like I need to talk about before we get into the movies and things. It's more important. It needs to be spoken of first. I have been trying a new deodorant. I revealed a few episodes ago the cross I have to bear, which is the constant sweating that I have of my underarms. Okay, listen, we all got our struggles, and that has always been mine. It's honestly been terrible. I have never known a day without that until 4 days ago. For months, I have been getting these ads on my social media about this new deodorant called carpe. I actually don't know. It's CARPE is how it's spelled. I am not sponsored, and I am not fully endorsing them yet. So please hold. They claim they will make you stop sweating, that it'll fix my problem. Now, I've been down this road before. I have bought the $40 deodorants before, and I sweat so much that my underarms will get rashes. I have to go to the dermatologist to get a prescription cream, because if I switch deodorants to anything other than the super sensitive Dove, and it has to be a very specific scent as well, it's almost as if I'm allergic, because I use so much deodorant that when I switch to something else, my body has a really tough reaction. So I am very weary to switch. But if something's promising me no sweat, I'll give it a shot, and then I always end up at the dermatologist getting a new prescription. I'll apply it, it'll seem to be okay for about a week or so, and then my arm will start to rash. For some, it's day 1. Day 1, my arm will start to rash. And when you sweat on a rash, it makes it so it doesn't really clear up. It is an absolute nightmare. I've dealt with it for years. And I think, you know, it's time that I start talking about it, because it is so freaking frustrating. It's almost like rug burn. That's what it looks like and it feels like. And then I sweat on it. And so then it's adding literal salt to my wounds, and it will never dry up. It's really difficult because arms are down all day. You know, you're moving them and doing stuff. So then it would chafe against my clothes. All of this to say, I am very cautious now. Years later, after trying every solution that they've said is out there, besides the shot that they say I can get, I have tried a fair few amount of products, okay? All the natural ones, all the things that promise everything, but I did it again. After months of these ads, I finally succumbed because they had a 100% money back guarantee. And I thought, okay, I will try it, and I will absolutely be getting my money back if this does not work. I will let them know. And I am the perfect person to test this product on to tell you if it works or not. And you guys, I'm actually feeling emotional because for the first time since, I don't know, my first puberty at like 11, I have not sweat. I haven't. Completely bone frickin' dry. I put this deodorant on from Carpe. It's an underarm lotion. And first off, I was complaining from the get-go because I put it on and it was so wet and sticky, and I thought, this is terrible. And it also kind of ruined my religious clothing that I wear underneath. So I have since realized that I need to put it on when I'm not wearing a top so it can dry, and then I put a shirt on. There's a little pro tip for you. But I put this on at night because you're always supposed to put deodorant on at night. It clogs up your pores because you're not sweating at night. Done that my whole life. So I put it on before bed. I woke up in the morning and I reapplied one time, and the entire day I did not sweat. I couldn't believe it. I truly couldn't believe it. So then day 2, I thought, I'm going to really experiment with this. I am going to wear a shirt that I always sweat in within seconds of putting it on, because it's just right up in my armpit and it's a colored shirt. Obviously, I had a cardigan with me just in case, but I was fine. Day 3, I went to work with a shirt that I have never worn without a cardigan. Never, because it's a colored shirt. And I did an entire shift in that shirt, and I came home, I dropped my bags, and I lifted both my arms up to show my roommate. Nothing. Not a drop. I can't believe it. I want you to know I am continuing the experiment, all right? I am not going to fully endorse this product until I've used it for an entire month, and I can guarantee that it has not given me a rash and that it has worked for a month. I'm only on day 5 right now, so for all I know, it's a short-term fix, but I did order more. They have a face sweating one. They also have like a mat for your makeup, but I ordered the face one because I just got bangs, so I figured that would help. They have a scalp cream. I ordered a bunch of different products to try out, and I promise you, I will report back on this. For my sweaty girls out there, we are in this fight together, and I promise if this product works, I will tell you. I will also email this company. I want them to sponsor this podcast. I will do countless ads for them. Whatever it takes, if this works, I will be their number 1 spokesperson, and you can count on that, because I have never, ever found a product that actually works and stops my sweating. But for the past 4 days, I have not sweat, and I am feeling very cautiously optimistic. So I'll keep you all abreast with the situation. I love that saying. I'll keep you updated, all right? I will. You will be the first to know if it continues working or if it stops working. So I would wait to order it until I report back a little bit more, but I thought I need to at least get this out there right now because it's been the most life-changing 4 days. It truly has. If this works, my wardrobe is about to completely change. Oh, I am really hoping and praying that this works and does not make me break out in a terrible rash 2 days from now. There you go. There is my current journey that I have with this new deodorant, and I appreciate you all just being here as I experiment with it. But, that's enough on that. Let's now go over what I have recently been watching. Let's start off with a movie. This is on Netflix. It is the new Lindsay Lohan film called Irish Wish. And I'm telling you right now, it's not worth any of your time, which is disappointing. I was excited for this one because the 2 male leads in this movie are both from Outlander. Outlander is one of my favorite shows I have ever seen in my life. I don't think it could ever be eliminated from my top 5 best TV shows I've ever seen. Outlander will always have its spot. It's never going away. It's locked in. I watched it on VidAngel, and I recommend watching it on VidAngel because there is a lot of blood and gore and just some sensitive topics and things, but it is the most gorgeous show, incredible acting, and the storyline is phenomenal. I really, truly cannot say enough about this show. At the time that it was out, there was 60 hours of it that was available to watch, and I watched it in 13 days while having a full-time job. I was working 40 hours a week while still watching Outlander, and I managed to watch 60 hours in 13 days. So yeah, I would say it's good. I have since seen it, I want to say 6 times from telling a bunch of different friends and watching it with them. And the final season of Outlander is coming out very soon, and I'm extremely excited about it. I've never read the books, if you've ever wondered. I don't think I will, to be honest. I just really enjoy the TV series, so I don't know if I want to ruin it by reading the books, but I don't know, come back to me on that. In Outlander, there are 2 pretty big characters that are the main leads in Irish Wish, and they are both villains in Outlander, so I was excited to see them in a completely different role, and I felt bad for them to be honest, because they are really good actors. Really, really good. Especially the Irish guy. I don't remember his name. The blonde. He is such a good actor. He is so evil and bad, and you hate him in Outlander. Absolutely hate him. But the directing in Irish Wish was so bad that it made them both look like terrible actors, which I truly feel is unfortunate because this movie was well above their pay grade, in my opinion, after doing this series that really shows their range. But it was cheesy, it was weird, and whoever the costume designer for that show was, they only dressed people in plaid. I watched this movie with my friend Taylor, and she pointed that out within the first, 10 minutes of the show, and then we made it this running joke. If you wanted to play a drinking game, take a shot every single time anybody on that show is wearing plaid, because I don't think that they had any other shirts or dresses that weren't plaid. The suit for the groom, full plaid. That's just such a weird thing to point out, but it was so weird. I was like, why is there no variety in the clothing? If you do end up watching it, first off, don't. But I guess if you have to, then make a little game out of it. For my personal rating on Irish Wish, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. My friend Taylor gave it a 4 out of 10. I'm going to go slightly higher for the public and say 4.5 out of 10 for the general public on Irish Wish. It was just not a good movie. Now, there's currently a lot of shows that I am in the middle of or have just started, so I'll mention them, but there's not much to say until it's all finished. I started Survivor. I am a huge Survivor fan. I have seen every single season of Survivor. I could never do that show, but I know the game. And if you are going on Survivor without knowing how to make a fire with flint, get off the island. Don't you be going on this show not knowing how to spark up a flame, okay? It baffles me every season. This is 46 seasons this show has been on the air. I have been watching this literally my whole life. And I don't get how all these people claim to be super fans, but they get there after this huge long audition process. They finally make it to the island and they don't know how to build a fire. That's your number one thing you need. What are you talking about? My favorite players on this show are the super fans who make obstacle courses in their backyards and 3D print every single puzzle that's ever been done on Survivor and study the game. They have past players that they love, that they want to be like. Those are the people I'm here for. I'm not here for someone that doesn't know how to get magnesium off of flint, okay? No. You know what? We're gonna have a separate table just for the Survivor players who couldn't make fire. All right? You can all sit there in shame. I'm gonna need to talk to you individually and understand how you did that. I would never go on the show, but if I did, which I wouldn't, but if I did, you can bet everything you own, I would be able to make a fire out of sticks. I wouldn't even need the flint. That's how much I would practice if I was going on this show. The other show that I started watching the new season of is The Amazing Race, which I also love. I haven't seen every single season, but I did grow up watching it, and I will one day be on that show. Mark my words, I will be on The Amazing Race, and I will win. I will, because I have Excel spreadsheets on Excel spreadsheets full of information about that show. And just like how I would know how to make a fire if I was going to go on Survivor, I would know every flag of every country, the language, the currency of every country. I have spreadsheets that outline every single episode of The Amazing Race and every challenge that was done in that season with a breakdown of what my strengths and weaknesses would be in that challenge. I listen to the Racers Recap. It's a podcast full of people who've been on the show before. If you really truly want to go on The Amazing Race and win, I don't know how somebody could do that without listening to Racers Recap, because they really explain to you how to win. So if I ever made the audition process, even though I have listened to all of the Racers Recap, I would be going back and re-listening to every single episode, taking notes, doing Excel spreadsheets for that too, I'm sure. I love an Excel spreadsheet. Take note, because one day your girl is going to be on The Amazing Race, going around the world in 28 days, and I will make it to that mat and win $1 million. And you'll see me bawl my eyes out on national television. I really will. And for anybody that doubts me, go for it. Because I know in my heart that that is something I'm capable of, and I will manifest that until it happens. For both of those shows, there's just a few episodes out, so I will review what I thought of the current seasons when they are finished. But I just thought I'd put it out there that I am watching them both, in case you are a fan and you're watching it and you want to talk about it, because I am always happy to talk about The Amazing Race or Survivor. I access them on Amazon Prime and YouTube TV. I believe there's a limited number of seasons of both on Hulu, but don't quote me on that. I just know that the updated seasons aren't on Hulu, but I do believe they have like 25 or something. If you're wanting to get into it, it's never too late. I just got my roommate Sam into Survivor last night. This is her very first season. She is already hooked. You know, it is never too late to get into these shows that have been on the air for this long. There is a reason there have been 46 seasons of Survivor. If you want my rundown list of the best seasons to watch, let me know, because I can happily provide that for you. Same with The Amazing Race. I can tell you exactly what seasons are worth your time and which ones absolutely are not. The last show that I am in the middle of, which I can absolutely guarantee I will recap on next week's episode, it is Masters of the Air with Austin Butler on Apple TV. I will make sure to give my full review, but so far I am intrigued. I am 4 episodes in. I stayed up way too early this morning to watch it. I was going to say late last night, but really it was like 3 a.m. So I'll keep you updated on that as well. Just a lot of updates that will be coming your way on all sorts of different things. TV shows, my deodorant journey, and my feelings towards my bangs. So, stay tuned. Okay, it is now time to discuss the thoughts on my mind. So my roommate came home this afternoon. She was all dressed up, and I asked her about the event that she had just gone to. She was telling me that it went well, but unfortunately, they ordered food for 150 people and only 45 people showed up to the event, which reminded me of a time when something similar happened, but honestly, it was so devastating. Oh, this happened like 6 years ago and I'm still not over it. It still makes my heart ache to its core. So I was in a young single adult congregation in Lehigh, and my stake, meaning multiple congregations, so this is thousands of young single adults in the area, they were going to put on this event for all of us in the area about family history. Now, family history is very cool, very awesome, and a very big deal all over the world. This is not exclusive to my church or to my religion. And there are shows, about celebrities finding their ancestors, and there's Relative Finder, and there's all sorts of different things. It is very enjoyable finding your ancestors and finding out where you've come from. I mean, look at 23andMe or Ancestry.com, things like that. They are very important to people, and they are also very important to history. Well, the stake, which is the joining of all these congregations, were going to come together for this family history event. And they promoted it in the different congregations for months. I was in a volunteer calling in family history in my local congregation, so I knew a lot about this event and how much work was going into it. They had lined up people that were going to come run different classes and teach you different things of how to research your ancestors and how to put in your family tree and how to index and all this stuff that you can do for family history or just for Ancestry.com or FamilySearch.org. Well, the problem with all of this is the way they were promoting it was not good. I'm just going to be honest. They were not marketing to their target audience. The people who were promoting it are older people with families and kids and grandkids. So the way that they were marketing this event and telling us about it was just not speaking to anybody. And so I had a suspicion that it was not going to be a well-attended event. I was just getting that inkling that they were not presenting it like it was going to be something cool and fun and fulfilling. I think family history can be all of those things, but they were not painting that picture for anybody. Well, the day comes, and it is going to be a full day workshop. They have breakfast in the morning. They ordered Chick-Fil-A for lunch. It's going to be this big event. You're picturing it? Oh man, they had such high hopes. They really did. I wish I would have spoken up a little bit more. I tried, but they just had this, optimism about them, and I didn't want to crush it. But you want to know who did? Chick-fil-A did. When they showed up with 500 sandwiches for 22 people. Oh, my heart. Doesn't that just make you so sad? Like, they really thought that this was gonna be some big event that 500 people were gonna come to, which again, when you're taking in the thousands that are in this area, that's actually a pretty small number. But yeah, 22 people showed up, and I was one of them. I was there, just standing there with the Chick-fil-A guy as he's unloading all of these sandwiches and the 2 trays of 250 cookies each and the bags of chips. I mean, it was devastating. And the people that were in charge, one guy in particular, he's so passionate about family history, and he was just so excited about this whole event. He's in his 60s. Oh, it was like no one showed up to his birthday party. You guys, it was the saddest thing. It was so sad. But they were really great with the food. We ended up having all of the missionaries in the local area come. There was like a local shelter nearby as well, so we took them there. We took them to an old folks home. They did good things with the food. Don't you worry. Those 500 sandwiches were taken care of. But there was no getting around how sad it was that there was only 22 people that showed up to this event. So to anybody out there who has had this happen, who has bought tons of food and planned for a big thing only to have nobody come, I just want to say my heart goes out to you, and I am deeply sorry. I'm deeply sorry that happened. Oh, that would keep me up at night. Every once in a blue moon, I will remember the look on that man's face as Chick-fil-A walked in with all of those sandwiches, and he looked around, took in all 22 of us, and we realized that we were gonna have to figure out what to do with all of this food. Oh, poor thing. Next thought I have, I was watching a video of a 4th grade talent show, and it was a girl who is clearly going to be a big star one day. She's going to be on Broadway, for sure. They will play this video from her 4th grade talent show to prove that she has always had the talent. And I was just reminded how rare that really is. That video of that 4th grade girl that we see so often, this extremely talented child. I want you to know that 2 years ago, I went to an elementary school talent show. I was helping at my roommate's school. She's a special ed teacher, and I went for the day just to help out, and honestly, just to see all of the people that she talks about every day. Highly recommend a bring your friend to work day. Well, that day that I went, they happened to be having a talent show at the school, so her class obviously got to go, and I accompanied. And it was while watching this that I realized just how untalented kids can really be. And I mean this in a very sweet way. To have a child that sings with perfect pitch, or that can dance really well, like that really is something to be proud of, because the average kid, not gonna happen. There was not a single kid that got on that stage that I thought wasn't at a 4th grade level. You know what I'm saying? But I think we forget that because we see these audition videos and stuff so often. We are so used to these kids with abnormal talent that we forget it's abnormal. Most kids don't possess that. And it was a really nice reality check for me. As I watched these kids on stage perform, it was a delight, do not get me wrong, and I loved the effort that they were putting in. I loved it all. But are any of them going to be the next Taylor Swift or the next Tom Holland or, on Dancing with the Stars one day? Oh, absolutely not. But, they will have that video to look back on and remember that they at least had the confidence to go up there without very much talent, Wow, that sounded so mean coming out. But I'm speaking from my own experience. I have videos of me doing a talent show. Oh my gosh. You guys, back in the day, I did the storytelling festival. I did. And I want you to know that the girl who was the savant really. The one that was actually amazing, she is now a best-selling author. Okay, shout out to Ashtyn Newbold. I highly doubt she listens to this podcast. Maybe I'll tag her. But she is one of my idols in life. She doesn't know this, so this is about to be a very, hopefully, fun reveal and not awkward. I remember so vividly her doing the storytelling festival, and she was so good. I think I even remember her story, but I don't want to say it and then be wrong, but I feel like it was about frogs. Okay, maybe I am wrong. I just remember it being so good. And watching her from the side stage going, I don't stand a chance. Like, I am not on that level, you know? I had my reality check at that age that I was never gonna be really good at that, but she was. Homegirl could tell a story. And then she wrote her first book in, I think, high school, which I have read, by the way. I've read many of her books. They are super good. They are Regency romance books, and I highly recommend them. Maybe I'll do a review on a different day of all of the books of hers that I've read, but I am a very big fan of Ashtyn Newbold. I truly believe that she was one of those kids that at a very young age, you could tell she was going to be something great because she had the talent. It was there. She possessed it. And she really did something with it. She's also absolutely gorgeous, and I'm obsessed with her Instagram. Everyone should just know who I'm obsessed with. Maybe I'll just each episode reveal someone that I've grown up with that I actually really enjoy their social media, and I'm like a private fan of theirs. You know, they may not be a celebrity, but they are in my eyes. Ashtyn Newbold to me is a celebrity because she has published, I don't know, like 15 books or something. I mean, how cool is that? That is so many books, and they are so good. I think it's awesome. So, Ashtyn, if you ever listen to this, I hope that this is a really big compliment to you because it is meant to be. You are such a great human, and you should come on the pod. I'm just going to start speaking about the people that I'm obsessed with and just slowly start inviting them publicly on the podcast. And hopefully this doesn't embarrass them too much. And I don't know, maybe in a few months, Ashtyn will be sitting next to me and we'll be talking all about her books. Who knows? Stay tuned for that as well. Speaking of people with talent, or just celebrities in general, guys, have you ever considered this question? What would you do, legitimately, what would you do if you were in a room with a celebrity that you idolize? I wrote this down the other day. I was thinking to myself, what would I do if I was in a room with Taylor Swift? Or in a room with Tom Holland and Zendaya? What would I actually do? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'd do nothing. I would not be going over to them asking for a photo. I wouldn't. Because I think I would be frozen. I really do. I could talk a big game all day. But do I actually think in the moment, me and just T-Swizzle at some event together, you think I'm talking to her? No. No, I'm not. This whole idea of like, well, they're just people. Well, sure. And as just a person, I would be extremely annoyed at the constant interruption to my life of people coming up to me, asking me to take a selfie, you know, and like not actually having a conversation with me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about at that level. If you listen to this podcast and you like it, please, under all circumstances, tell me because I would love that. I would love that. That would mean the world to me, but that's because I'm not a celebrity. I have no real status in the world, you know? But someone at that level, a Tom Holland, Zendaya, Taylor Swift level, that's their everyday, and you are just not even close to where they are. Yeah, they're just a person too, but they're also a person with like millions of dollars who perform and who have a face that millions recognize. We're not the same. We're not. So to pretend like we are, I think is kind of, I don't know, dumb. I also think about this with that question of who would you have, lunch with that are alive. As we've talked about before, we know who I'm having dinner with, but I would never choose a celebrity. What am I going to have in common with Harry Styles? Like, what are me and Harry going to chat up about? I highly doubt that we're going to have some common ground that's going to keep us both entertained, you know? And I don't want some situation where I'm just interviewing a celebrity. If I'm having lunch with someone, I want to have a conversation. And what would they have to ask me? You know, I know what I'd ask them, but I don't think I am someone they want to have lunch with. They're not answering that age-old question saying, oh, just like an average Joe off the street. No, they're going to pick someone on their level. So I'm going to pick someone on my level. If I'm going to interview somebody, that's a different question. But if we're just talking, who do you realistically think you could be friends with? I don't think I can make it happen with these types of celebrities. I think we live just too different of a lifestyle. I would love to see Zendaya, to maybe see Tom Holland. I think the only situation that I would be okay with is just us, like just me and the celebrity getting stuck in an elevator together. That would be my ideal. That situation would be the only circumstance in which I would want to be meeting them. I want to be in a situation where they are forced to be in my company. We don't really have any other choice. And I can talk to them like a person because we're just two people stuck in an elevator, I can tell them I love them, hey, I love your music or I love your acting or whatever. But I also feel like the circumstances would in some way make it this bonding moment for us. I want to be stuck there for a couple hours. That's when I can do my interview. Maybe they can get to know me a little bit, and then we'll never see each other again. That's how I want to meet a celebrity. If it's anything else, I might pass, to be honest. If I'm in a room with Taylor one day, just know I'm going to tell you that I was in a room with her, but don't ask me if I walked up to her and talked to her, because no, I won't. I am extroverted enough. It's not that. That's not my issue. If I'm her, I don't want to be interrupted by me. And I think we should all just start thinking of that a little bit more. If you were the person you're about to go talk to, would they want to be interrupted by you? If the answer is maybe not, then maybe not. Those are words to live by. Am I the only one that feels like there are too many car washes? There is some serious money laundering that has to be happening because there is no frickin' way that we need this many car washes. I passed 4 car washes in a 5-minute period the other day in Lehigh. This is getting out of hand. Ain't no way enough people are going to the car wash to make all of these make money. I feel like there is a conspiracy going on. I don't know quite what it is, but my senses are up and I am getting a tingling. Something's off with the amount of car washes that have just popped up in the last 2 years in Utah County. So just know I'm on the case. And don't be surprised if a year from now we hear about a ton of car washes being busted for crime because it's probably a drug ring. I really do believe that. I would believe that so fast. And then I need the documentary dropped on Netflix immediately after. Please and thank you. Okay, this next one, Kate Middleton has cancer, which that is devastating. That is not a laughing matter. That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have started this segment with me laughing. Why I'm laughing is my question to everybody who is speculating on where she was. I just genuinely wonder if you kind of all feel like clowns. Everyone who was saying all sorts of stuff, what she was doing and what she was up to in these 15 million part series of, where is Kate Middleton and all of this speculation, just so much speculation. And then for her to release this video that she has cancer, guys, why are we speculating that much? Let's just let it be for a sec, because if we just continue speculating, we're all going to feel pretty dumb when she's actually been dealing with something pretty major, pretty severe. I'm not really much of a royal follower. I tried watching The Crown, couldn't really get into it. I did watch Kate's wedding at 3 a.m. and Meghan Markle, of course. And this probably won't come as a shock to anybody, but I am a Meghan Markle fan. I really like her. I ate up her interview with Oprah and then the TV series that dropped on Netflix a while back, Meghan and Harry. Oh, I was feasting on that and I really enjoyed it. I like Meghan Markle. I don't have any beef with her. I also don't have any beef with Kate, so let's just let that be clear. I don't have any beef with any royal, all right? I don't have enough information to have beef. I don't care enough. But what I do care about is the fact that Kate has been dealing with chemo while everyone has just been up her butt about doing a press release. I mean, this poor woman can't rest. She has a baby and 10 minutes later, she's got to be out in a white dress pretending like she's not bleeding and acting all happy for the kingdom. No. Let her have a break. I don't understand royals. I don't. I am an American in that way, where I just don't understand that whole system and the king and the queen and the royal family. I don't get it. I don't get it. They feel overrated to me, but that is also a very American mentality, and I recognize that. So take that for what you will. But from my perspective, let her have a minute. Let her just fall off the face of the planet for a second. Why does it have to be a big deal? I don't get it. Next one is, all those videos of people that come out of their wisdom teeth surgery and they're so funny or crazy and saying silly things and it's hilarious and blah, blah, blah. I want you all to know that ain't me. I have come out of anesthesia many a time. I have had 2 knee surgeries. I have had 4 oral surgeries. I've had 17 teeth removed. I have the mouth that is the size of an average 6-year-old. That is not a lie. That is not an exaggeration. On another day, I will explain my very valid and deep-rooted fear in the dentist, because that could just be its own episode of how many oral surgeries I have had in my 7 years of braces, and my worst fear truly being the dentist. I have to be prescribed Valium in order to go to the dentist because I get so worked up about it because it's been such a traumatic thing. They removed tons of my baby teeth. When I was a kid, they cut into my gums and removed my permanent teeth so they wouldn't come down. I have a very small mouth. And then the cherry on top of it all was having to get a root canal when I was in China. Oh, I will tell the story one day because it's one to settle in for, and you will be horrified for what my poor little mouth has been through. But the point of all of this was I have been under anesthesia many a time for my mouth, for my knees, for my back, and I am never funny. I am never goofy and silly and just saying the craziest things. No, I wake up so sad. So sad. I remember when I woke up from my first oral surgery, my very first thought was, who is crying? She is so loud right now. I can't even think. It was me. I was crying. I was hearing myself cry. But you're all groggy and stuff when you wake up. And I just woke up crying. When I got my wisdom teeth out, I was slow tears down the face. So sad in the car. Same with my back surgeries. I am not someone you want to be around after I am woken up. So just know, if I am ever put under, heaven help whoever is there with me in the wake-up room. I will be incredibly whiny, and I can almost guarantee that I will be crying. I don't know what it is about waking up after that, but I just can't bounce back as much as I can from anything else. I don't know if that's just how it affects my body. Why did I tell you all of that? I don't know. I just had it written down, so there you go. All right, to end today's episode, we're going to go with my pitch for a TV show that I think should exist and that I would totally watch. All right? I've thought about this long and hard. Here is the documentary that I want made. Somebody who's out there, a documentarian, get ready for this idea. Feel free to take it and run with it, but only do it if you're going to execute it well. I want only A-listers to be on this, okay? I want a series where we have a bunch of celebrities' siblings that we've never heard of, never met, didn't even know they were that celebrity siblings. I want their side of the story. I want to know what it was like to grow up in the shadow of your sibling. I want the dirty details. I want the tea. This isn't to say that I don't think they should love their sibling. I think it'd be great if they did, but there's no way that did not affect them in their life. Having a celebrity sibling, that could not have been easy for you, especially if that sibling brought in the money for the family and they were the breadwinner. Interesting dynamics. I mean, think about Taylor Swift. Sorry I keep bringing her up, but her entire family moved to Nashville for her music career, including her brother. So I want to know what that was like, and I especially want the siblings that are kind of bitter, that their parents paid so much more attention to their sibling and cared so much more about them. I am just here for it. So if someone wants to make that happen, I would watch every episode. You could make it 20 episodes, go through them growing up and talking about their life, what they accomplished, and how that was affected by the world that they were in. I want to know how much their celebrity sibling gives them in money, or can they get tickets to every show? If I want to know what benefits you get having a very rich sibling as well. Or if that's hard for you, oh my gosh, wouldn't you watch that? Wouldn't that be just such good television? A good series. And then to make it really fun, we get a bunch of them together so they can kind of do like group therapy together. Oh, that would be amazing. I hope one day this happens. I truly do, because that is something worth watching. I know it's super nosy of me, but I'm gonna own it. I want to know. I want to know what that was like. Please, someone someday make that for me. I would be forever grateful. And with that, we're done for today. Thank you so much for joining me as I rambled on about my thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki.